We're into this crucial round 3 matchup between Lakey Peterson, Johanne Defay, and Silvana Lima. This is what's happened during the break.
Well, of course, Lakey Peterson going to get that quick start. He's been working on this backhand, putting it together. Obviously, very good on the right-hand point break. She knows that that's her one of her biggest strengths, but knowing that you have to have the backhand as well, she's been working on that, and it seems to be paying off for her because she has been putting in great performances on the lefts. As she finishes almost on that final move. At times, it's made her nervous. That's why the results haven't really come yet. But I feel like this could be the change to this season.
Look at this wall she's found. She's up on that lip line floater maneuver to start it off. Unfortunately, I couldn't connect. Peter will come back. And as we see now, the surfer from Reunion Island, Johanne Defay, on her backhand here. Of course, it's all left-handers today. We're back up at Itauna. And Johanne Defay, Lakey Peterson, and Silvana Lima all now locking in waves as this one doesn't really open.
Think for this season being a little bit deeper than we've had in the past. So now the low tide's really going to help things out. We watched Johanne Defay on her first wave. I feel like she is going to be one to beat today because her backhand is so strong. I feel like the size of the waves today are right up her alley. So we'll see if she can keep it together.
Johanne at the back, Lakey Peterson staying busy. Opened up with a 3.0 on her first wave. And it's a flurry of waves from all 3 competitors out in the lineup.
The warm-ups have been here. You know, I don't know why. I think a little bit of nerves, maybe. It is a wave that's going to have that extra bounce. You know, you start putting a little bit extra pressure on those rails, they end up meeting. You know, we'll see what this bottom half of the draw has for us.
This is the local surfer, Silvana Lima. Nice drawn-out bottom turn. Pulls that one back into the power source. Squares up again. That's a nice turn from Lima. Look at this wall stretched out ahead of her. It's a racetrack here at Itauna, and she bangs off that final turn and just gets swept up a bit by that whitewater, Pete.
Yeah, and there is a showcase of the wave you want. Wave selection impeccable, and Silvana was able to bounce back from this first error on that first section. Look at this, just a mid-sized set wave, and it just hugs the bank. With this lower tide, you get that nice steep wall in front. She just sets it up, and there's the wall. Again, the only thing is you want to see her pull off this last move. I mean, we would have probably seen this wave go excellent had she pulled off that last move. I feel like now it may come underneath that, but I mean, that was the most climactic turn there. You know, maybe somewhat lacked a little variety just because each section was very similar, so she really couldn't do anything to spice it up. So that may factor in as well.
Here goes Lakey on the outside. That's one that you don't want.
Yeah, and that one tapers off. But that wave there, you could see how the bend was coming back at Silvana. It was nice and easy. She was coming off the bottom. There was the wall from Lakey Peterson, and she's going to get her best wave. And then also right on the next one, Johanne Defay. Beautiful finish move. You know, again, whipping it right underneath the whitewater there. Pulls it down, comes with some control, so that's going to be her best wave. So a good exchange between Lakey and Johanne. She has Steph, Nikki, and in that first heat. Here we go, some live action.
Look at this beautiful wall ahead of Lakey Peterson from Santa Barbara in California. Squares up that bottom turn, power hook into that pocket. Now waiting to coil up. There's a nice big aggressive turn from Peterson. Can she finish strong? She does hold on to this one, and this will be Lakey's best wave of the heat so far. A 7.0 was thrown down by Silvana Lima.
It's something that's kind of been a theme throughout this entire event, and it will continue today as we watch the replay here of this beautiful wall. Points of difference for me just on this wave in comparison to Silvana Lima, the direction of the surfboard. You see those whips all the way back where her nose is going back towards the whitewash. That shows a little bit more commitment. You would have to say that this one is going to rival the 7.0 Silvana Lima. Probably not as a big a wave. I don't know. It seems like it was probably right in the same realm. But look at just these beautiful walls with the tide starting to drop out now. It's really starting to hug, and shallow. The shallow bank is allowing these waves to steepen up.
Peterson has won an event this year. She was the winner of the first event of the year up at Snapper Rocks. She's up and riding now again, the heat leader. Squares up the bottom turn, a bit of a smaller wave, but has found that inside bank. Series of turns through the inside section, very similar to her last wave, albeit a bit smaller, but this one has nice aggressive finish on the inside too, so Lakey Peterson now starting to build.
And of course she identified that wave. Those are the things you want to hit, those types of waves, that type of section. She kind of shied away from it and doesn't get the finish move, so this is going to reflect in her score.
Lakey Peterson found this one on the inside, Pete. This is one that also stood up nicely on the wall, even though it was a smaller wave.
Yeah, and again, you know, so you make this decision to kind of build and back up your 7.8, which she has done. It's a good wave, but then when you see the next sets of waves behind it, you're like, oh, maybe I should have been a little bit more patient. But you just never know. You got to pull the trigger sometimes. This is going to still be a good number. You know, she's going to be right there in the good range. She executes a lot of solid moves and gets that finish. Again, every time she got to doing the maneuver, the section was steep. That's a critical section. That's where you need to be putting those maneuvers to place.
All right, good stuff there. We see Lakey Peterson locking in her second scoring wave. As Johanne Defay, a bigger set wave coming in here as she streaks down the line, looking a little bit like Reunion Island on this tight shot. Nice snap off the top. Glassy conditions. Strong on her backside. Here she comes through the inside section now. She will
lip. Good stuff there from Silvana Lima. She's going to replace that 0.67. And then this is Johanne Defay. So she carries a lot of speed to get down the line to make sure she gets to this first section. Drifts the fins, straight to the bottom again for another snap. But there, that section there, felt like she should have jumped up there.
Opportunity missed. Meanwhile, the Brazilian, Silvana Lima on the outside, going for the big floater.
Wow, can she hold on?
She does.
See, this is finals day. You got to cut loose. You got to go big. Silvana Lima knows that. That is what she does. She loves to go big, almost to her demise sometimes. You know, she'll go so big that she'll end up falling. Not today. She pulled that one off.
It's going to be a great matchup here between, at this point in time, Lakey Peterson and Silvana Lima as we see the replays.
Yeah, again, we got Johanne Defay on the foreground. She misses the final section, but we're keeping our attention on that outside section. Watch this. She just lip line rides a very critical section as the day goes on as we look into that next heat of Tatiana Weston Webb.
Well, it's sheet glass out here for Silvana Lima. She's locking in her wave number 4. Looking for that strong finish. That's that floater she disconnected on the first time and unable there to land that landing. And waiting absolutely critical on those types of maneuvers. Let's have a look at what happened here, Pete.
Well, again, this is going to be a great look at it. You know, the first turn here gets that snap back, sets up this next maneuver, another snap, and then gets up on the lip, heel edge, and you can see when she lands, heel edge, all of that weight shifting off the rail and goes down. Beautiful look from up top. You can see how far away the Barrinha is just there on the jetty, but gosh, this place is just filled with surf. Matter of fact, the middle of the beach was pretty good yesterday as we watched that fall one more time. She seems to be on those floaters getting caught on the heel edge, which is why she's been falling on those 2 maneuvers where she wasn't able to pull off. You know, she kind of gets that board up and kind of that'll help you to stay on the lip when you push on the heel edge. But you got to be able to go back to the toe edge and not let it get out from underneath you, which is what's happened on those 2 falls.
So sticking with the chat around Silvana Lima, she is looking very hungry, Pete, as she took off on this wave during the break.
Okay, and again, you know, does she build on the 7.0? That's what her goal is. Big, deep bottom turns, getting loose in the lip. You can see how pumped up she is. You know, that's one of the things that she brings to the table is the high energy surfing. So we'll see what happens as Lakey's going to utilize that priority.
Yeah, pulls the trigger with priority. She's in that red singlet. This wall's got a nice bit of taper to it. Hopefully it is enough for her to work with. It's a little bit flat on this opening section. Now it stands up on the inside. Gets one hit in, but unfortunately unable to capitalize on that priority that she was holding on to.
You know, that wave did look like it had some scoring potential, so I understand why she took off on it. Of course, once you utilize that priority, there's no going back, so you might as well surf that wave to its fullest potential. But that's not going to help with that. You know, they were able to practice out here during the bigger days. So that pintail, you know, probably an inch bigger than her normal shortboard as we watch this replay here. You know, this wave just flattened out. It looked like it had the potential, but it really didn't steepen up like she would have liked. Those cutbacks don't score super high. This final move there would have been better. Still don't think it would have gone into her top 2, even with the completed maneuver there.
Defay now having a look at this section. She's using her priority. She's in 3rd place. She's a former runner-up here from last year. And Pete, another potential mistake. That is hard to kind of get a read on those ones when you're paddling into them, isn't it?
It is, you know, and again, you're against the clock, so you kind of have to, you know.
Peterson and Johanne Defay. Well, we see Lakey just sticking to Johanne as Silvana looks on the inside way of the heat is being cut out. And Silvana Lima will advance into the quarterfinals in front of a home crowd here in Brazil. Lakey Peterson will join her. And last year's runner-up, Johanne Defay, unfortunately, will bail out of the Rio Pro for 2018 with an equal 9th place overall.